Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Valentine's Day this morning. Hope everyone's having their coffee. Good morning, everyone. Oh, let me put the volume down on that. So here we are, Friday the 14th. And how is everybody today? Hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to put the link in if anyone is interested in coming in. Put the link in the chat if anyone is interested. Everything looks good on my end. Just going to wait for some people to come in. I know it's Friday. I know it's Valentine's Day. So people are probably scurrying. Last minute things, last minute cards, last minute flowers. I can understand that. It's a cloudy day here in Florida, 70 degrees already. If you're on Facebook watching this, please come over to the YouTube channel and participate. Come in on the chat. I know this is early for some people, but I want to just keep the 9 o'clock theme going, I think. I'll just keep doing it on 9 o'clock. Hello, Jason. How are you? There we go. So, what do we discuss today? How about weekend plans? What is everybody's weekend plans for this middle of February where you are? Some people are dealing with cleaning up after a storm. Some people are dealing with shoveling snow. What are your plans for today? Or this weekend, I should say. I know mine is getting my truck cleaned out and ready to go. And I still haven't finished my Amazon shipment yet. Been a rough week for me. Hello, Misty's Adventures. How are you? So hopefully everyone else will have a good weekend. Make it a positive weekend wherever you are. Staying 10 below right now. Wow, where are you, Misty's Adventures? 10 below. Boy, I remember those days. I know Jason is in New Hampshire, right, Jason? I don't know how cold it is there. I haven't talked to my son. My son's in New Hampshire also. You're in Wisconsin. Wow. 10 below zero. Yep, definitely remember those days. We packed our truck, our moving truck. We packed it February of 2003 to move down here, and it was 3 below zero at that point. That was cold. Tell your mother I said hello, Jason. Haven't seen her on Facebook that much. Although I haven't been on Facebook too much either. So what are your plans, Misty? What are your plans, Jason, for the weekend? I don't know if you heard what I was saying earlier. Been warm here most of the winter. Yeah, that's good. I mean, halfway through February and it's still warm. That's not bad because we all know February is the worst. Definitely is the worst and the coldest. Today's not too bad here. It's supposed to be 70s all day, rain off and on. I'll take that over the 90s. The heat is just too much lately. 90 degrees every day for a month. I'm so over that. Hold on 1 second. So, let's see. Haven't seen too much news this morning about much. I'm running a little late myself. Not sure yet. Should be at work, but my morning shift got canceled, so on call right now. We'll go out to eat tonight. That's cool, Misty. Morning shift got canceled. Last minute, huh? You're a reseller too, right, Misty? Don't I see you in the auctions and stuff? Thank you for hitting the thumbs up, everybody. Sorry, I just keep looking back and forth between Facebook, YouTube, StreamYard. With all the screens, it's crazy. It's like NASA here with everything. Donna Perry. Hello from Boston. Donna, we went to Northeastern Junior High together. Am I remembering correctly? I work with kids with autism in their homes. Oh, wow. That's very nice. That's very good. But you're also a reseller too, right? Because I have seen you in the auctions. No, I am not a reseller, but maybe someday. I just love watching. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you buy for yourself too if you can get a deal on something. No, I'm from Norwood. Oh, okay, Donna. I thought you were in our high school or the Somerville Facebook page. And there's a lot of people I went to Northeastern the most. Northeastern Junior High. Donna, are you a reseller? Do you sell on eBay, Mercari, Etsy, Amazon? I know we're probably friends on Facebook because the name is definitely familiar. What's it like in Norwood this morning? No, but I should. Well, I'm a big proponent of multi streams of income. That's for sure. Because down here, when I was back home in I thought you did real estate. I do. I'm a real estate broker here for 16 years. But I'm still a broker. I sold my franchise office in 18, cold in 30s. Wow. And I sold my franchise office and the agents in 2018. And then I brought back Antonelli Realty January of this year as a Thompson broker. Thompson broker is not is a brokerage or is a broker that's not associated with the board of realtors. I think 15 years I've had enough of the board of realtors just taking our money and not doing anything, not holding anybody to the standards that they're supposed to. So I could be just as professional without paying $600 a year. And but I've always done eBay. I've had a couple of stores. I have had several stores back in Massachusetts, and I've always done eBay since before it was eBay. And even as realist, when I was doing real estate here, I still did eBay, because I would tell somebody, all right, we're under contract, you're going to start packing everything or whatever. And they would say, oh, I'll just do a yard sale. Should be able to get a couple of bucks for this and that. And I said, the last lady, a couple of bucks. I said, can I see that? And it was Roseville Pottery. And I said, if you can't get $30 or $40 for this on eBay, that's crazy. So she did. Then she got hooked on eBay. I need help on starting eBay selling. It's not that bad. It is not that bad at all. Actually, I started a group, for a Facebook group for resellers, which there's a lot of them out there. There's the link if you want to join. I haven't put much content on there yet. Way back when eBay first started, I became what they used to call as an eBay trading assistant, and I would teach people how to do eBay. I did classes and stuff like that. I still did some a few years back also. But I'm getting there again. I'm getting back into it, because real estate here is the Wild West. Anything goes. People don't care about rules. People don't care about the laws and stuff. So, and I'm just tired of it. It's not rewarding for me anymore. eBay is fun. It's always been fun. It's always been like an escape. It's cool to see that you could buy something for $1 or $2 at a garage sale, an estate sale or whatever, and then find out that, well, hey, I could put this on eBay, and somebody in California may want it because it's worth $30. So that's kind of, they call it the thrill of the chase, the treasure hunting part of it, which I like. It's fun. It's always different. It's never the same old thing over and over again. Like when you do real estate, you go into somebody's house. Well, my neighbor's house sold for $200,000, but my kitchen's better. So, if you had another bedroom or an extra bathroom, then we're talking, or a pool, then we're talking difference in money. But just because your kitchen's better than theirs, you have wood floors, they have porcelain tile, it's right above your second. Oh, you're in Facebook. That's why. If you come over to YouTube, you should be able to see the links and stuff in the chat. That's why I'm seeing the F, because you're in Facebook. I'll put it in Facebook also, but you can come over to YouTube and you'll see everybody's, because I don't think you're seeing everybody's chat. There we go. I just put it in Facebook also. So I think that's where I've seen you then. You're a realtor. Norwood. So are you at Next Home? Are you at the Next Home office there? Are you the owner of the Next Home office in Norwood? Because I know I've talked to you before on Facebook. And I'm sorry if everybody's getting bored with real estate talk. But yeah, we were back in Massachusetts in November. I think we're coming up again in May. C21 Northeast. Okay, cool. Very cool. And how is it up there? I never could understand how you could do open houses and stuff under snow and sleet and rain and ice and stuff. Open houses here for a long time took a nosedive. There was hardly anybody doing them. And now, little by little, you see open houses popping up again. And you could start online selling. The easy way people start is just going through their home, seeing the stuff that they don't use, they don't want anymore, and you could start doing it that way. Or the big stuff you could put on Facebook Marketplace. I'm busy. We have had almost no snow, but there is no inventory. That's nice. There's way too much inventory here. Way too much. Where I live, there's development after development after development that's being built. Where I go for coffee in the morning at Dunkin', behind where that is, there's a street that just ends, and it's only probably 1,000 feet. It's all farm, and they just approved a 3,500 residential units, which is going to probably be a lot of townhomes, a school, and then up the street, around the corner from where I live in a development also. They're putting in 1,200 homes. Down the street, they did another 800 homes. And people are just real ticked because the traffic is already crazy. And this used to be a sleepy town. But like I tell them, that's progress. If you don't have continual growth, our taxes are going to be really high. When we were back home too in November, my wife and I, we looked at some property because we were thinking of going back home. But I was listening to Howie Carr on the radio, and he was just happened to be talking about the taxes and stuff like that. And I forgot about having to do your taxes on your car every year, your excise tax, this tax, that tax. So, in November, when we went up, we stayed November until the beginning of December. And it was cold for us. And then we just started to talk, saying, do we really want to deal with the snow again? So I think we're going to end up going to the Carolinas. We could still have 4 seasons. Nothing as bad as it is here. Like in Florida, I'm in Central Florida. I'm 30 minutes from Disney. And we have 2 seasons, summer and summer light, what I call it. And sorry, God called in, but we'll watch later. Okay, Misty, you have a good day. Happy Valentine's Day. But Donna, if you know anybody looking to invest in an Airbnb in Central Florida, 25 minutes from Disney, I'm just going to be selling mine. It's a 3-2, and I have bookings through July that I'll put with the sale, as long as they keep it an Airbnb or a vacation rental. So what else? So same thing, new construction where you are too. Yeah, I'm done living in a HOA. I'll put my contact information also in the chat. Inbox me, please. Okay. Done. That was easy. When I finish this, I'll send you the link. I use HomeAway. HomeAway is connected with everything. Airbnb, VRBO, Expedia, every place. Gotta get ready for work. Okay, make it a good day. Take care. Happy Valentine's Day. All right. So it looks like Valentine's Day, everybody's busy. I don't blame them. Like I said, last minute cards, last minute flowers, last minute arrangements and stuff for Valentine's Day. I posted a picture this morning on Facebook of the card aisle in a big store, Valentine's Day cards. And it says, my wife and I exchanged cards already, then we put them back. Oh boy. So Donna had a good point that I'll probably start doing a video on the basics of listing on eBay, which is pretty easy, or the basics of starting multi-streams of income. Alrighty. I could just start to get some work done here and maybe share the screen, but I don't know how many people would be into that. Let's see if I can share my screen with everyone here. If I do screen number 2, share. All right, there's screen number 2. Let's go over to eBay. See if I can't log in. It's a little slow because I'm using a few screens. Let's go to sell. Oh, wait a minute. I just want to check this. Got a couple of more feedback. Not bad. Good transaction. Really happy with what I got. Great seller. Fast shipping. Brilliant seller. I think he was from the UK. Awesome transaction, as described and well packaged. I always get kudos for my packaging. Always. I'm definitely going to do a video on that because some people will just take something, throw it in a bag, and or padded envelope and send it out. But when you're a collector selling other people collectibles, they want to make sure that they get it because collectors are very, very picky at what they get, what they order, because they don't want any creases, crevices. Bubbles have to be perfect because most of them don't open up the products. They keep them in the package like that. They just keep everything packaged, and they'll on the back it'll tell you how many there are, and so they're what we call as a completist. They have to get the whole set, and I've been a completist with a few things. I've since stopped. It's like when we were Disney collecting way back in the 80s. There was so much. There's just way, way too much. So I always used to tell people you have to narrow what you want, especially with Disney. Stick with one character, Mickey, Donald, Goofy. Don't go for everything because you'll go broke. Hey, Judy, how are you? What are you selling? I sell a little bit of everything, actually. If I can make a buck on it, I'm going to sell it. That's what it comes down to. But when you're Disney collecting, when there's an item like that, there's just so many characters. Just stick with one character. Like my wife, Sandra, she's now just into Figment. She's always liked Figment. So that's what she goes for. If we stumble across something she doesn't have, we'll pick it up. If it's not something we go out of our way for a lot, but if she likes it, she'll get it. And if she doesn't have it, she'll get it. But I mean, if you were to do that with every character, that would be crazy. So right now, I only have 165 listings up. And this one here is the first item, the first return, probably over a year, because he said this arm was loose, and it is. Personally, I don't think I think it's looser now than when I sent it to him, but you could see it's posable. It's from the Hellboy, the Golden Army. It came with the box set, so it wasn't something that was readily available. It was very limited. So I just put it back up for sale. But this just gives you a little idea of some of the things that I have up for sale right now. iPhone 4 broken screen is only for parts. If somebody did want to replace the screen, they could get it to work because you can see the power's on. Legos, I still have accounts open with a lot of distributors, or a few distributors. So I still get new stuff. These are all new. Legos. My wife did Scentsy, so we have a lot of Scentsy stuff on there. Books, old CDs, old cassettes, albums, hats, a lot of different things. I sold about 1,500 items. Disney was a biggie since hubby and Donna VIP guided tour worked there and had some rare coins. Oh, wow. My first and best sell were 3 Disney Zippos that were no longer produced. Find those in your golden. That's true. Although any kind of Zippo is decent. But like I said, this just gives you an idea of some of the stuff I have. Hats. I probably have 30 hats up there. I had a lot more items, but we started to do online auctions. a couple of nights a week. And we sold stuff in lots, groups. Like it'll be a lot of 4 or 5 shirts, 4 or 5 jackets, 4 or 5 books. And we just moved the stuff out. And a lot of times other resellers would buy it. These are Lego, the minifigures. Minifigures are hot. They go for a lot of money, some of them. Some of them could go for as much as $50, depending on which one you have. I have some Roseville pottery, which is pretty old. Action figures, of course. Disney stuff. I didn't renew my passes this year because we know we're moving. But when they do an event like Food and Wine Expo, they have pass holder only merchandise. You have to be a pass holder to get it. So we would pick up a couple. Godzilla stuff. Always been into Godzilla stuff. Still have one of these left. A DeLonghi grill. Got as a pallet buy. It was one of the pallets that I bought appliances. More Scentsy stuff. Scentsy is you have to buy it from a Scentsy seller, a representative, kind of like Avon. Action figures, more Disney, and some older stuff like San Diego Comic-Con exclusive items. So that's about it. That's some of the stuff that I have. I still have more I have to put up, but now I'm working on getting a shipment up to Amazon. But it's pretty easy to do. eBay. I don't think I have any orders. I have no orders waiting. Shipped them all already, which is great. So let me bring this back in. There we go. So that was easy to share a screen. And there is a little lag as I'm looking at it here now on YouTube and Facebook. Not as bad as it is at night. At night, it's pretty bad. Hello, Doug, if you're watching out there in Manchester, New Hampshire. What's your store name? Missed the first part. It's actually called Big Hug. And let me grab the link to it. Well, it's actually Toys and Stuff's Collectibles, but my name on eBay is Big Hug. Long story. I just put the link to the store in there. So Judy, you're in the mountains area in North Carolina, correct? You're in Facebook too. If you want, you can come over to the YouTube side and everybody can see your chat. Because right now there's some people on Facebook, some people on YouTube. Northwest corner. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go up there in a couple of months and look around a little more serious. Last time we were up there, it was very brief. But we have to be, I believe, within an hour of the airport, a major airport. And it'd be nice to be close to 95. So when we do go home, it's easy to hop on 95 and go visit. I know it's still going to be a 12-hour drive, but it's better than a 24-hour drive. And I know there's a couple of next homes there. Hello, Real Stitch. How are you? I know there's a couple of next home offices on close to 95, but I don't know if they're new and if I know them at all, or if there's anyone maybe you could recommend. We are an hour and 45 to Charlotte. Asheville may be your spot. That's funny. Asheville, I did a search for best places on the East Coast to retire. And Asheville was on the list. Not only where are the best places on the East Coast to retire, and where are the best places on the East Coast to live. And Asheville, North Carolina made both lists. Happy Valentine's Day to you too, Real Stitch. Real Stitch, it's Frenchy, right? Just want to make sure. Thank you, Judy. I think we're going to go in. We have to go to my son's house for May, so maybe we'll be looking there in April. I hope. Frenchie, yes. Okay. Glad I remembered. So, Frenchie, we're just talking about everything. From real estate to eBay to Amazon to Valentine's Day, weekend plans, everything. Nothing's off limits. Just make sure elevation is or above 3,000 feet for cool summers. Much of Asheville is lower. Well, Judy, anything is better than 90 degrees every day for a month. Having coffee before the madness of the day. I hear you. But that's interesting. I never knew about cool summers, 3,000 feet, which means you'd have to live in the mountains. I just want something not in a community, not as big as we have now, and something with a little land. You know, maybe we could put up a place to work outside the house, etc. Stuff like that. But your prices there in the Carolinas are like what they used to be in Florida in 2002, 2003. So that's appealing also. Plus the Four Seasons. I can't tell you how many people that have come down from New England to Florida find out what it's really like. And then they go to Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, the Carolinas, because they miss the Four Seasons. Plus, it's changed so much here. We're starting to get an influx now of low-income housing. Having coffee, excellent. Just got back from Naples, Florida last week. Welcomed by 3 inches of snow and 17 degrees in Pittsburgh. Wow. I miss the snow at times. When we were up there and when we were up in New Hampshire in November, we got some snow. Very little, but at least we got some. I like it definitely during Christmas. 17 degrees. I don't miss that. Boone is coastal Carolina is cooler. Get there in a small home here. Beach rents and height. I don't want to do that. I want to do one house. We're going to sell our vacation home here. I'm hoping our goal is it's retirement time. So our goal is to get something with some land, put up another garage, workshop, or whatever, and not have a mortgage, not have any debt. That's our goal. So I think I'm done with, the 2 homes and stuff, because that way, if we want to go home to see family and stay with the family for a couple of weeks or a month or whatever, we could do that and not have to worry. Coastal cooler than Piedmont. Average sale is $250. That's not bad. That's not bad. Judy, if you have, I told Donna Perry, who I thought I went to school with, but she's actually a realtor in Massachusetts. I just remember talking to her on Facebook. If you know anybody that looking for an investment property, Airbnb type in Central Florida, let me know, because we're selling ours. We're 20, 25 minutes from Disney World, and it's booked through July. And I'm hoping to find a buyer that will keep it as a investment short-term rental property. So I haven't actually listed it, because usually when you start to list the property, the people that booked it, if they see it, they'll cancel the bookings because they don't want to be disturbed. Flippin' Cruders. How are you? Good morning. Central, it's a single family home. It's a 3-2 in Kissimmee. Good morning, everyone. Paul, I got my rocks. I love them. Oh, excellent. Yeah, those were heavy. Yeah, if I had the link to, let me see if I could grab it here from home. I use HomeAway. HomeAway is connected with everybody. Expedia, Airbnb, VRBO, they're like a hub. They're connected to all the rental places. Let me see if I could grab it. All right, this should be it. Copy. I'm going to put it in the YouTube chat. Hopefully everybody's on YouTube. Judy's not on YouTube. So let me go to Facebook, put it in Facebook. There we go. So I put it in both places. Hopefully, if you can't see it, because I always mess up here, you got to take out the HTTPS, the secure part, and just start with the www, because the secure part is only when you're logged in. So let me fix it. Put it up there again on Facebook and the tube. There we go. Hopefully that works so you can see it. Charlotte, Raleigh are our number 3 and 4 buyers for mountain homed to cool off in the summer. Where is your home? Send me. I grew up in Miami. We also lived in Winter Haven. Oh, Winter Haven's cool. I just put the link up. The second one should work. It starts with www. So that one should work. And like I said, I have bookings. Half of June is booked and half of July is booked. And I stopped after that. I had people that wanted to book in October and November and December and stuff. And I want to get it sold. I have an investor looking now. He's running his numbers on it because everybody has to make it feasible to work for them. I understand that. There's 5 people watching. Hit the thumbs up if you could for me, please. Leave a comment. Is it making mortgage or in the red FSBO? Hello, Adam. Good morning. No, Real Stitch. Last year it paid for itself plus. So far this year, it's on the same. I've owned it now for 3 years. It was one of my listings. I sold two of the other clients' homes, and this one, I made him a wholesale offer, and I told him I would keep the bookings. So we made a deal, and we took it. He took it. But for 3 years, it's been self-sustaining. And unfortunately, we had that hurricane in 2018, and I had to have totally replaced the whole roof. The air conditioner is like only 5-6 years old. Inside, every wall has been redone. Every ceiling has been redone. It used to have popcorn ceilings. Now it has, in Florida, they use knockdown, which is like stucco, and they just knock it down. The only thing that needs to be done is the bathrooms. They need to be painted or a little updated, but the ceilings have still been all done. And the kitchen should be updated. But it's like the garage, even the garage has been redone. So it was $25,000 damage from the hurricane, and it's all been, we have brand new sliders in the master and in the living room, the ones with the built-in louvers, and they're energy efficient. So we did a lot of work to it, a lot of work. And as you can see, there's pictures on there. Let me know if you need help. Also, write the Chamber of Commerce for towns you have interested in. Thanks, Judy. Take it easy. Liz, how are you? Miss you guys. Yeah, we miss you too. Although I guess it was a good thing that we left when we did. The Real Stitch. Nice place. Perfect Airbnb. It is. It is. People like it. People like the pool, and it's better than renting a hotel. And a lot of the hotels on what we call 192 are still used for people that have been, they lost their homes. So the people, families living in 1 or 2 rooms, which is pretty bad. But yeah, so, but there, I'm glad the link worked for you, so you could see it. There's a video in there, also a fly-through video that the photographer did for me when he took pictures. So Liz, if you want, you come over to YouTube, and everybody could see your chat. You could see everybody's chat. I still see your posts on Facebook. You guys go to Disney a lot. I know that. I haven't. We haven't. Not as often as probably we could. So what's up with you today, Adam? I had a new roof put on my place, tile from the hurricane. Where? What city? Are you in Florida also, Frenchie? It's funny, I'm seeing your comments sooner. Naples. Oh, okay. I'm seeing your comments sooner on YouTube than I am on the stream. Not much. Need to stop at PO, grab breakfast, post office, and do some eBay. I hear you. Sandy and I did an estate sale yesterday. Interesting. We haven't been to an estate sale in a while because I have so much to sell here. Live in Pittsburgh. So your home in Naples, you use that as an Airbnb also? There was an estate sale in Naples that just ended yesterday. I wanted to go to, but Sandy didn't want to take the 3-hour drive, which I don't blame her, but they had some interesting stuff. Live in Pittsburgh full time. No renting. Future retirement destination. Ah, okay. Naples is very nice. It is very nice. Only been there once. And we had to go, I think it's Route 17, which is the most boring route. Since then, like I said, I wanted to go to this estate sale. We found another way to come down the middle. But wow, talk about old Florida shacks and stuff like that. It's what you see on 17. And then all of a sudden, it's like the Wizard of Oz. You're going down the yellow brick road and there's nothing and there's nothing. All of a sudden, there's this big kingdom. was Naples. It was nice. It was really nice. Future retirement destination. That's what Sandy and I are looking at. We're looking at, I'm not a Florida person. It's humid here. About 3 months down there, too much. Well, no, Adam, only like 364 days a year. But yeah, we're done. We're done with it. We are done with Florida. 16 years is enough for us. And it's changing so much now, and I can't say it's for the better. So we're looking to, although we don't want to go all the way home anymore. We wanted to, but we don't want to deal with shoveling snow and, that type of stuff anymore. And did I remember correctly, or am I remembering correctly, Adam, that you're looking to move somewhere to Delaware, was it? Or was that someone else? I know we talked to so many people. So I don't know. I know some of you see me on the auctions and stuff. I don't know when the next time I'm going to be on. I think it's Saturday. I'm sorry I missed last night. I kind of crashed at like 3 p.m. We've had less than an inch of snow. Yeah, that's nice, especially for February. But I'm going to ask T if we're on Saturday tomorrow. Rancher and quarter of the property taxes. Wow. I've heard Delaware is nice too. And Sandy has to go in for her shoulder surgery, and she's going to be out for minimum 2 months. We have to go help our son with his house early May. So I think we may leave in April and take a slow jaunt back home again. We're going to look in the Carolinas. We're going to look in Virginia. We may look in Delaware too, because we have heard a little by little Delaware is popping up. But I did a search. I was telling Judy earlier, I did a search. Best places to retire on the East and best places to live on the East Coast. And Asheville, North Carolina has come up several times. The funny thing, Manchester, New Hampshire came up 3 or 4 times also. Hello, Donna. How are you? But we don't want to deal with the snow anymore. We were looking and looking. We saw 4 or 5 properties when we were up there in November, and every place you look, $200,000 still needs $100,000 worth of work. So, Paul, let us know what's your inventory for future auctions. I will. Like I said, I'm sorry I missed last night. It's been a rough week. Yesterday I took a couple of painkillers, and like I said, I crashed about 3:00 in the afternoon, and I forgot, I just forgot I was supposed to be on with the auction last night. I think the next time I'm going to be on supposed to be on is Saturday. I'll have to confirm with T. So yeah. Donna, you want to come on for the last 5 minutes and talk? Or no, I just got out of bed and I have sleepy face. Donna won a few auctions, which is nice. Storage auctions. Yeah, if I were you, I'd move Philly and south if you want to avoid snow. We usually only get 2 or 3 small storms a year. Yeah, and I'm so done with an HOA. I was the president of the HOA here. And I was on the board of my last community. And they always told me it's a thankless position. And it's true. Our HOA here is a joke. We're not supposed to have any parking on the street. I can point the camera outside and you can see all the parking on the street. But I want something. Now, granted, I have a 1/4 acre lot. I have the second largest lot in the community here. But when we go, like when we were up in New Hampshire, we were looking for something with 1 to 3 acres because I want to put up something like Lonnie, but, not like Lonnie, a place to work and do stuff like that. My interests are luxury, Chanel, Gucci, etc., and religious relics, religious statues. So are you a religious person? Sorry. Or you just like their old religious stuff? It's funny. I've never heard of anybody collecting or into old religious stuff. And the only reason I ask is a friend of mine, Doug, I don't know if he's still watching. He opened up his own church. He's went to college for religion. If you ever wanted to have a discussion about religion, boy, can he go all day. And he's always been one, you got to go to church, Paul. You got to go back to church, Paul. You got to go back to church, Paul. But I always wondered about the Dead Sea Scrolls, which are, I guess, part of the Bible that's not in the Bible or before the Bible, something like that. And they talk about so much other stuff, like Lilith and stuff like that. But I don't want to talk about religion. I try never to talk about religion and politics. But I will be on the lookout for you. There was somebody in the chat yesterday, I think it was Arthur, who sources for other people. And not a holy roller, practicing Catholic, just love old rosaries, crosses. Okay, cool. I'm, I guess, what we call a recovering Catholic. That's what my friend did to me. He said, if it's not in the Bible, it's not right. And when you're a Catholic, I guess, if the Pope says change this, they'll change it, even though he doesn't have the right to change it. Only God can. But anyway, I don't want to talk religion. Right, Doug, if you're watching? Doug's a personal trainer in Manchester, New Hampshire also. He's a personal trainer for years and years and years, and a devout Christian. So if let me put this in here. Anybody wants to come on, Adam or Frenchie, whatever. You want to come on and talk, even though I know I was only going to be on for a few more minutes. Maybe 9 on Friday is a little bit too early. But I know it's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I know it's Valentine's Day and it's Friday, and people are scurrying everywhere, picking up those last minute gifts and cards and flowers, going to work, not going to work. I dig it. I know. So what else? Weekend plans? No weekend plans? Take it as it comes. Hit the thumbs up, everybody. Come over to the YouTube side. I know there's a lot of people on Facebook. Love to in the future have to do shipping. Post office is closed Monday. That's right. It's President's Day. That is right. I shipped everything already, thank goodness. So I'm good with that. And then I have my eBay to set for 9 a.m. So if anything comes in now, I don't have to ship it in. I won't have to ship it until Tuesday, but I'll still get it out tomorrow. Very cool. I'm just looking at everything here. When I start, I'm going to have to, I know so far, I think, was it 4 days this week already? I've done 9 o'clock. So I'm going to have to work on this weekend and come up with an agenda, certain things to talk about and do. There was one of my Facebook friends who's a realtor in Massachusetts, and she said she wants to learn how to do eBay. So I may do that one morning because it was easy for me to share my screen. Oh, there's Donna. Good morning. Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, all right. Now we can hear you.
Oh, I love your background. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. How are you this morning?
I literally just, my husband let me sleep in late. I look at me, morning face. I got up. First person I called was T.
Okay. Oh, goodbye, Real Stitch. Thanks for coming in. Happy Valentine's Day. Frenchie.
Frenchie, see you later, honey. Yeah, so my husband let me sleep in late this morning, thank goodness, because I was feeling, I was listening to you talk about how, you're feeling tired. I went out and looked up at the moon. I'm pulling out my YouTube chat because I really hate the StreamYard chat. So
yeah. Good morning, Doll. Yeah, good morning, Dolly. Happy Valentine's Day. I was telling people too that I'm seeing because I have two screens, I'm seeing my YouTube chat before I'm seeing my StreamYard chat.
Yeah, I always pull up my YouTube chat. It's just faster.
Yeah.
But I think that...
And it's not necessarily...
Huh?
No, go ahead. I was going to say, it's not necessarily I'm feeling tired. It's just that just about this whole week, and even last week, it seems that I have a lot of pain later in the day. So they gave me this pill that I'm only supposed to take once in the morning, but still I need to supplement with aspirin and stuff later. And if I don't get ahead of it, it gets ahead of me.
I know. And you know what, Paul, I've heard you talk about that before. And before I had my ablations done, for me, it was my hip.
Yeah.
I have a bad hip, but I haven't had a bad hip since my ablations. And it's been probably like a year and a half since my last ablation. But I had them over the course of, I think, a year and a half, because they can only do it like every 3 months or so. They can go in and fry those nerves.
Yeah.
So it took them about a year and a half to get, and they do grow back together.
Right.
The doctor that it's actually an anesthesiologist that performs the
Yeah.
procedure. And she and they do, like, I had to lay on a table and they do it. They do they go in by x-ray. They have an x-ray that she watches on a monitor to
Yeah.
find the nerve. And she told me nerves that she fried, and they inject like literally a poison that's like a radioactive frequency poison to go in and fry the nerve. That's what they put into your body. And just be really careful, like nothing strenuous after
Right. I've had injections in my neck
you
and
had
in my lower back. The lower,
the
they didn't,
ablation.
at that time, it wasn't in, I forget what they call it. They didn't burn the nerve. They just put steroids and try to
No,
get more of the fluid that goes
yeah.
around the spinal cord.
Well, it sounds like this time they're actually going in and doing an ablation, which is frying the nerve.
Well, the first two ones, like I'm going in the 27th. I thought it was next week, but it's the 27th. That's going to be steroids, something to reduce the inflammation of the disc, and then something to try to introduce the fluid around the spinal cord. Then he says, I'm going to send you home with a chart, and I want you to chart the pain levels. If it works, great. For 8 hours, I think it is. If not, we're going to wait 2 more weeks. We're going to do it again. If that doesn't take, then we're going to go in and do the nerve.
Yeah. Adam writes in the chat, I've had 4 nerve blocks like that and they never worked. So I had 1 nerve block shot in my, well, they go into your spine, even though it was my hip, they go into your spine. And it didn't work for me. So she only tried it was an epidural nerve blocker shot. She only tried it once, and then she went right to the ablations. And I have to say the ablations work. The ablations worked for me, and I hope that they work for you. But but what I was saying is I would go back in like 3 months later for another one. You know, they would call me and say it's time to come for another one, and she would tell me after the procedure, yeah, the ones that she burnt, like she would go in and do like 4 injections at a time. She even went in and did 5 at a time.
Wow.
And, yeah. And she said that some of the nerves that she had done the ablation on, like a couple of procedures before, they somehow find a way to reattach themselves and grow back together. Like the human body is that amazing. She literally cauterizes them. She burned them away and cauterized them, and the nerves were able to reconnect themselves. And
your body will rebuild itself.
And she had to go in and re-fry them.
Yeah.
For lack of better words, that's what they do.
Yeah, I'm up for anything lately. Definitely.
I hope it works for you, because it definitely worked for me. I mean, it took a long time. It took 1.5 years, but it definitely worked for me.
Yeah. Well, Dolly, 5 more days. I forget how old I actually am. Oh, happy birthday coming, and happy Valentine's Day.
Yes.
So are you still cleaning out units today?
I never went yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So I'm supposed to have a 3:00 auction today.
Okay.
But I'm not, because I still have invoices and things that I still have invoicing from last weekend. Last weekend I had Friday, Saturday, 2 on Sunday, and then I had Tuesday. So I had 5 auctions that I had to bill and ship.
Wow.
And that's a lot, because you know me, I usually sell like 25, 30 lots each auction.
Right.
So I literally had over 100 sales that I had to execute.
That's great, though. That's great.
It is great, but it's so much work. Like, Paul, you know how much work it is. I mean, it is.
I think I shared with T once. I said that was the week we did Saturday night, Monday, Tuesday, I think. And I think on the next auction, I told T, I says, I can definitely relate to Donna's pain now, because, oh my God, finally, the second auction, I told people, pay now or wait to see what I bring on Wednesday's auction and then pay for everything.
Yeah, I mean, I still have a bunch of people that haven't paid, and I have a bunch of invoices that I haven't billed. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna wait until after tonight's auction because some of the ones like Dolly, I didn't bill you, so some of them are like I sold that special on the belts,
Yeah.
and I if they buy something else, I can combine shipping. But
Exactly.
because the belts are going to cost me $7 to ship out, and I'm giving them 35 belts, so
Wow.
yeah, so it's a lot of belts. But I bought 1,000 of them,
Right.
so I'm gonna, all it's mostly all my little orders that I haven't invoiced yet, but all of my invoices that people have paid for are out. They're gone. So from last weekend, the only thing that's left is stuff that I have not invoiced people on them, and I'll wait until. I was wondering what happened to the invoicing. Yeah, I haven't invoiced you, Dolly.
Dolly, when I first, she says, I wish they could figure out a treatment for fibromyalgia that doesn't include narcotics or surgeries. I went, when my pain, 4 years ago, when my pain started to come on, I went to the surgeon that did Sandy's, what do they call it when they scrape out your joint and your,
No, that doesn't sound very.
no, I forget what they call it, but I saw him. He put me in for he did an x-ray right there in his office. And he looked at it and he says, I don't see any problem. He says, you have fibromyalgia. He says, there's no treatment for that.
Yeah.
So I couldn't accept that. So I went to another surgeon and he sent me for MRIs. And he says, you don't have fibromyalgia. He says, you have a herniated disc. At that time, 4 years ago, it was one. Now I have three. He says, were you playing football? And it was just the same thing over and over again. Were you playing football? Were you in a car accident? No. He says, you have a herniated disc that's protruding into your spinal cord. That's where you're getting all the pain because I have numbness down here and here. And so you should go see somebody and have maybe an MRI. My last surgeon sent me for, because I've had a headache now every day for 4 years. He said, I don't know why you're getting headaches. He says, that's not a condition of herniated discs in the neck. So he sent me for a CT scan of my head, an MRI of my head, my lower back MRI, my neck MRI, and then an x-ray, everything. And he says, I could do the surgery, but you'll only be in here in another 5 years because it's a whole bunch of stuff. So he told me to go to this guy. It's called a facet. That was what it's called, Donna. They'll kill the nerve, sending the pain receptors to your brain.
Yeah.
So that guy, that doctor said, no, what you have will definitely cause headaches. So you need to go. I went to 5 surgeons, 5. Some of them have this God complex, like, they're God. And I just couldn't understand it. But anyway, you should go see somebody and have an MRI because maybe you have more than fibromyalgia. And I know everybody has a bit or more of arthritis because that's the other thing. He says, arthritis over there is not that bad.
I was just talking to someone who her doctor diagnosed her with fibromyalgia, and what's the other? It's kind of related to fibromyalgia.
Osteoporosis.
No. Fibromyalgia, and there's something else that's like a similar illness. But anyways, but the doctor diagnosed her with that and said basically there's no cure. It's not depression, but it's like you sleep a lot. I'm trying to think of what it is.
Yeah, I forget what that is too.
You sleep a lot, but it's like it has to do with depression, but it also fibromyalgia, and I can't think of the word.
Not narcolepsy.
No. Anyways, it'll come to me. But the doctor wouldn't actually write it down on her report that she was diagnosed with that, because that's one of the disabilities that you can go and you can get like disability social security for
Yeah.
if you're diagnosed with fibromyalgia, or, and I can't remember, like I said, the other name for it. Um, anyways, he wouldn't write it down. And he said that they're like being investigated. Like doctors are, they're like too freely diagnosing people with fibromyalgia, and people are going and collecting disability for it. So they have to like run so many tests in order to give you a proper, like the proper diagnosis of fibromyalgia. And it's because they need copies of those tests to back up their diagnosis, because so many doctors are being investigated by who gives you social security disability. Is that the government, the state? Is that the state or is that federal? I don't know.
I think it's federal.
Is it federal?
I
Yeah.
think so. But you know how hard it is to get that? I I I mean, I went into, because anybody can just go on to socialsecurity.gov or whatever, irs.gov, and try to file. They said they disapprove over 73% of everybody that files.
I know that they say that you have to get uh, rejected twice, denied twice, and then once you're rejected twice, you can go the third time with an attorney to try to get it or something like that.
Well, somebody gave me an attorney to talk to, and I still have to fill out the paperwork. The paperwork is like an inch thick of everything. And it's kind of ridiculous that, you have to go to that to do it. I don't know. It's just crazy. You need an
Adam
attorney to
says it's
file.
federal. Adam says it's federal.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a tough call. It's a tough
Yeah.
call on that.
Dolly, try glucosamine chondroitin also. We've been, since Sandy had her knee surgery, it's like the older we get, the more we're getting stuff done. The doctor told her she had a lot more arthritis than he would have liked to have seen. So she should make glucosamine chondroitin with vitamin D, an everyday thing, like a multivitamin.
How do they see the arthritis, Paul?
He showed us on the X-ray. It's more white around the bone.
Ah.
My knee has been killing me now for the last month. So I went in to see him, and he took an X-ray, and he says, "You're fine there." He says, "You don't have arthritis like Sandy does at all." So yeah, you just got to take it. And when we were at Comic-Con one year, my friend, because we're there for a whole week setting up and everything, and after the first night, my friend said, "Wow, my knees are killing me." And I happened to take it with me, and I says, "Here, take this for a couple of days and let me know." After the second day, he says, "Wow, my knees feel so much better." It tries to add more fluid, like it's almost like greasing your joints is the only thing I can relate it to, but it works. It just it has to take a couple of days to get into your system. Yeah, it's cloudy around the bone joints. Oh, the sky just opened up here. It's pouring.
Oh,
I was diagnosed with central diabetes insipidus in front. Wow. Chronic migraines. I know what those are like.
Gosh, Dolly, I didn't know that you had so many diagnoses and
Yeah.
going on. I feel like I'm really lucky. I'm 55 years old, and I mean, I have had my share of like I just had the bout with the flu, and then I had that really bad infection a few weeks ago
Yeah.
that I ended up having to spend 2 days in the hospital on a intravenous. But that was just a freak thing that happened. And then and then I did have my hip issues, but I'm good. I'm good with my hip issues. Like I haven't had any problems. Like I think for 55 years old, considering the fact that I should be uh disabled with depression, to be honest with you, Paul,
Hmm.
honestly,
Yeah.
because I know a lot of parents that had to watch their child die the way I did.
Oh
They're
yeah.
disabled. They're disabled with depression, and depression can disable you.
Yeah.
Disable, like to the point where you can't get out of bed. I have a lot of grieving mom friends that are taking pills, drinking, not getting out of bed, can't work, can't function, can't do anything. And they look at me and they're like, how do you do it? Like, how
Right.
do you do what you do after my husband suffers? I I won't and can't uh I don't want to use the word give into it because it's there. It's not like, giving into it, but I will not allow me. I will not allow. I always say that I haven't started grieving yet. Honestly, that's what I say.
Yeah.
I
I, I
haven't
can. Well,
I haven't started the grieving process yet. It's been
right.
um it's going to be 8 years and I haven't
Wow.
started the grieving process yet. I'm just not allowing myself to.
Right.
I have to
No,
do what
I can
I do.
relate to a point, but
Did you
I
go
don't.
through it?
It's.
Did you
I
go
don't
through
want to. I don't want to get into it. But Adam said he went to an attorney. I just had to collect all my medical records, and the attorneys handle everything. I just had to be interviewed by someone. The attorney I spoke to said it's going to take 6 months to a year, and they know how to file it so it gets approved, but then they want, I think it's 30% because it's retroactive from however long, I don't know, which
Mm.
I don't know. If it works, it works. But you know how, um, not embarrassing, but I guess embarrassing that your wife is working and supporting the household. That's why I have to, and I've tried to make it a point to build up the my online sales. So, and the nice thing is, I know I don't think your husband does it all with you. He does some, which is great. We have fun doing it together. And I love it when she comes and stuff. Like we went to an estate sale yesterday. We walk in the door and she sees the table full of jewelry and she's over there and I'm still walking, talking. And next thing I know, she's not even with me. She's at the table. Um,
No, he basically doesn't want anything to do with it. Like he'll help me. Like the other day, like when he's in between jobs, um, when he's free and he's available, or if I need him to drive the big truck with the trailer, he'll come with me.
yeah,
The other day he came with me because we were just going to go out to lunch and then go by. It was me, him, and my son. We were going to go and have a bite to eat, have some lunch, and then go pick up that preacher unit that I bought. It was just a small 5x5. So he came with me. It's nice to have him like loading up the stuff, but he's not into it at all. He's not into YouTube. He doesn't want to be on camera. He's not really into me buying storage units. I mean, he appreciates that, the money that I make is, it contributes to running the household, which is really great. I can do things for my girls that if I wasn't working the way I was. Hey, listen, when the kids are little, it's really easy to raise them because they don't need stuff. Like my girls and my son, they're all older now. Everything costs more money when they're
oh
older.
yeah,
and then just, you've heard me talk about it before. Just the travel sports alone is just,
Oh, and the equipment and everything.
it's just consuming. So, the money that I make can, like we can buy pistachios guilt free, at Costco. And the girls can, they both work little part-time jobs to have a little bit of spending money in their pocket, but it allows them to be able to concentrate on their studies and
Yep.
their
Plus, it builds responsibility.
and everything that they want is so expensive, Paul. I've
Oh, I
been
can
wearing
imagine.
plastic Crocs on my feet for, a year, if not longer. Like their shoes are expensive. Like everything that they wear, that like things are just expensive today. Like I don't remember things being. We went to Sears when I was growing up, and we got a pair of shoes, and that
Yeah.
was it. And they lasted, for the 6 months or a year. Or we used to go to the Converse factory in
In Malden?
in Malden.
Yeah.
We used to go to the Converse factory in Malden. They
Yeah,
were bins and bins of shoes, and you could buy them for $2 a pair. So my
exactly.
dad would take all of us kids there, and we would be trying on the Converse sneakers. And my dad would buy us each like a three pairs of sneakers, and those were our sneakers for the whole year. They were just like the canvas ones. They used to get ruined. I
Right.
remember my parents.
Imagine if they had that today.
I know, right? And I remember my parents yelling at us because we used to use the toes of our sneakers to stop our bicycles.
Yeah.
Instead of
Yep.
pedaling backwards, we'd put our toes down, like to stop the bicycle.
Yep.
And the toes of the sneakers would get all ruined. And my parents used to yell at us for, ruining the toes of our sneakers all the time. But that's where we would go. That kind of stuff doesn't exist today. I mean, I
Not
could
at
take
all.
my kids to the thrift shops, but you always say you got to come down here and you should see the prices. I did a video. You should see the prices in my thrift shops down here.
It is. I mean, last time we were there, which is a couple of years, well, actually more than a couple of years ago, I sold my friend's townhouse in Delray Beach. And we went down and had dinner with him and stuff and stayed at the Ramada on the beach there. And then we drove back, I think it's one. So we drove back the coast for a long way. It would have taken us 7 hours to get home if we did it all the way. But we stopped in a couple of thrift stores like Boca and stuff like that. And the prices weren't too bad. But yeah, the Goodwills are just like here. I went to a thrift store not too long ago. Shirts were $18, $14. And it's like, wow, that's just about what we could get for them on eBay or whatever. So, but then when Sandy and I went home in November, we stopped at a couple. Oh, in Alabama. That's right. We went to one in Alabama, and the prices, shirts were $3. So we thought that was going to start a trend that they were lowering the prices again. But no, because we went to one after that, and it's still $14, $15, $16. It's crazy.
It is crazy. One of the storage units that I bought today that I'm going to get, there's a Vince Caputo box in it, a brown Vince Caputo box.
Yeah.
And there's bags and bags and bags of just clothes. And I think they're clothes. They look like clothes. And I bought it very specifically because I do have some designer clothes. I'm a little bit hesitant about bringing them. Like I brought a lot of designer clothes to auction. I had Tory Burch, I had James Pearce. I just one pair of pants in that lot is going to sell for $80.
Wow.
Not including all the other. I have bins that I have put aside when I come across like really, really expensive clothes, and the bins are marked for listing on eBay. In case I ever decide to stop doing auctions, I can always default back to selling on eBay, because let
Right.
me tell you something. It's a lot less work to sell a pair of pants on eBay, photograph them and list them, and sell a pair of pants on eBay for $80 that can just get wrapped in a piece of tissue and put in a bag and put in a mailer and send out. then
Right. Exactly.
I have to sell 3 lots for $80, and I have to invoice people, and I have to wait for payment, and then I have to pack them up, and sometimes those lots don't sell for, very much money. A lot might sell for $25, and, like, tonight, like I said to T last night, I said, "How did the auction go last night?" She said, "It did pretty good." I said, "'Cause I was in and out." I was on the nights that I don't have auctions, I kinda, like, tool around the internet and go and support other people that I'm friends with that are on live, just show up in the chat and just say hello, and the couple of times that I went in, I saw people say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't bid on that tonight. I spent all my money last night." And I know a lot of people bought a lot of things at Mike's auction, and we
Okay.
we have the same circle of people that go to your auction, Mike's
Yep.
auction, Lisa's auction. So there's going to come a time where people are not going to have they can't they the resellers, they need time to like list the stuff on eBay and try to make the money to be able to continue to
Right.
buy stuff from us at auction. So, I said to her, I said, "How did last night's auction go?" Because I did see in the chat, "Oh, I spent all my money last night." And, I can't give my stuff away.
Right. Exactly.
So I bought this storage unit based on, we'll see what kind of clothes is in there because a lot of people do ask me for clothes. So I'm hoping that, there's going to be some nice clothes in the storage unit just simply because of that box.
Right. That's cool. I try not to do clothes unless I find something that's cool. Or the funny thing is, I was saying yesterday on the video that last time we went home, I found more Disney stuff in Massachusetts and New Hampshire than I did here in Orlando.
Oh gosh, that's so funny.
I guess more people go to vacation and they don't want it anymore. But yeah, no, it's very true, very true. I told T also a couple of times. I said it seems like we're just getting the same base of people. There's got to be a way to expand it, grow it.
That's what
I
I
sent
do.
her a
That's what I
page, an idea that I had to Adam. Take care, Adam.
Bye, Adam. Have a nice day, buddy.
I sent her a page. I don't know if she still looked at it yet. I don't want to ask her again. Of a way to get together as a group, but then to grow it also, and maybe advertise it more, do some Google ads, try to get some more people like Dolly and Lisa have, and I was amazed. They don't live in Florida and they have a ton of NASCAR stuff. So I said, you guys should advertise, to get together, do an auction, a NASCAR auction, and advertise it. Advertise it for a week. Don't just advertise it for a day. Advertise it for a week. Go on NASCAR Facebook groups, and
That
see if.
NASCAR stuff is so hard to get rid of. You know the storage unit I bought full of that.
Oh, that's right. I had some NASCAR stuff that I got at auction, but I got a good deal on it, and it was tough for me to sell. But they're selling it. They are selling it. I have a few that I don't get from your group, but that is from What the Hales and a few others. But there's so many places to advertise and try to grow the base.
Charlie says they're not hard to get rid of. Well, I brought mine to auction and I posted a whole bunch of them on eBay. I sold some overseas. The most eBay ones that I sold were people that were overseas that bought my NASCAR cars. I had all kinds of NASCAR. Oh my God, I had so many NASCAR cars. And then I ended up selling them at auction. I was selling 3 NASCARs for like $35 shipped.
Wow.
Wow. The big ones, the big model
Yeah.
ones.
Oh, yeah.
It's brand new, like unopened, still wrapped in like tissue and stuff.
Right.
So now is the time to bring the NASCAR items. Yeah, good luck, Dolly. I hope that you have better luck with it than I did. I'm just telling you, like with my experience, selling the NASCAR stuff didn't do well. I actually sold most of my NASCAR stuff locally on the Facebook Marketplace. And this is a very interesting story. The man that bought them, he bought over 200 pieces, and I think he paid
Wow.
me. Yeah, I think he paid. Well, I got hundreds of them. Did you ever watch that video? Hundreds and hundreds.
No, I just everybody. I mean, I haven't followed up on almost
Oh
anyone's back
yeah,
videos.
car score or something like that. But so what he does is he sells them. I think he bought just under 200 pieces, and I think he gave me $350.
Wow.
I was happy to get rid of them.
Oh, I don't.
So what he does is he ships them in a container to Indonesia, and he has a contract with a company in Indonesia. He buys the NASCARs in this country. He buys them, ships them to Indonesia, and then this company that he works with, it's cheaper for them to take the covers off the cars. So they take the shell off the cars. They repaint it, and they do promotional, like for example, like one of their contracts he told me that this company has with is Geico. So
Yeah.
what they'll do is they'll take these cars that say NASCAR on them, and they're like racing cars that were made for NASCARs. They make new boxes for them. They take the shells, they paint them, and they'll write like Geico on them. Like, let me show you an example.
Wow. Good morning, Tiffany. Happy Valentine's Day. Prices are starting to increase on the special edition NASCAR items on Facebook Marketplace, going for $100 or more each. Yeah, I still, to this day, I'll see some NASCAR stuff and I still shy away because I haven't had luck selling.
So when my son was really sick, someone contacted the U.S. Border Patrol, and they
Yeah.
made him an honorary like Border Patrol agent for the day. And we went out on the Border Patrol boat, and we spent
Oh,
the
that's
whole
cool.
day. Yeah, it was really cool. He was really sick. He didn't enjoy it, but it was really, really cool. And this is one of the cars that they gave him. It's a U.S. Border Patrol. So this is an example of they made so many NASCARs, and the market is so flooded with so many NASCARs. So this company, so it's the 1.25 scale.
Right.
So this company, I'm sure if I look, so this company is like it's like an Indonesian company. Like this was ours, and the guy told me about it, and I'm like, I have a U.S. Border Patrol that looks just like a NASCAR, but it's a U.S. Border Patrol. And he goes, well, there's a chance that the company that I sell to made that car. And so it's cheaper for this company to take the car and repaint it and put Border Patrol on it,
Wow.
than to manufacture the whole car. And then they just make a new box for it. And there's people like, he said one of their biggest customers is Geico. They make cars for Geico, and they put Geico on it, and they give the cars out as like an award to like managers, or they use them for promotional material, the Geico
Right.
cars. So yeah, so he answered my ad, and I sold him a ton of cars and a ton of the little cars too, because the company that he ships to does the little cars too.
Wow. That's cool though.
Yeah, I was happy to get rid of them because I had so many. I literally got hundreds of them in that storage unit.
Wow.
And it didn't, by the time I showed them at auction and what people were paying for them at auction, I was making the same money selling them to him and just getting rid of them and doing one lump sum.
Yeah. No shipping.
No shipping. He just
Take them. Here you go.
pulled up with his truck and just picked him up and took him away.
That's cool. That's a nice way to do it.
Hi, Tiffany. Yeah, I utilize the Facebook Marketplace a lot. Like I'll post things on there to try to dump them and get rid of them for really cheap all the time.
Yep. I have a couple of things. I have a Japanese animation slot machine that Facebook took off because I called it a slot machine. So I had to reword it to tokens.
Oh,
I have that, and I have two appliances left, two of the DeLonghi appliances left. But they're, man, to ship them, like one is $50 something alone
I know.
to ship it. which is tough.
I know.
But I've sold a few things, a couple of the giant Nerf guns and stuff, which is also expensive because it's so long.
I have a whole bunch of Nerf guns. I'm not going to present them to auction because it's just going to be, it's volume. It's just going to be too expensive to ship out. One of the last storage units I bought was loaded with them.
Wow. Facebook Marketplace I found was good for that. But
Yeah,
the ones I had were new. I have a bin full of used ones. And if I can find the smaller ones, then I'll list those. But yeah, the bigger ones, some of them are like over 2 feet long.
Yeah, that's what I have. They're all used.
Yeah.
None of mine are new. And I don't have any bullets either, which that's no big deal. You can buy bullets anywhere, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And sometimes they'll go on clearance. You can get like a pack of 20 or whatever. Like the zombie ones were on clearance for a long time, the Nerf bullets. I think it was down to like $2 for a pack of 20. So they're not that bad. Yeah, not that bad at all.
In the local marketplace. All right, Paul, I just wanted to come in and say I got to go, honey. It's 11 o'clock and I still got...
Yeah, I know. I'm going to end it too.
Yeah, I got Storage Treasures double charged my account. And so I have to call and deal with that and see what their deal is, why they did that. For my premium on my one of my storage units.
Wow.
So I know. I don't know why they double charged me. So got to take care of that. And I appreciate you letting me on. I'll come on more. You know, I love listening to you have your coffee, as long as you don't mind me coming on and
no problem.
And maybe we'll see you tonight at the auction.
All right, sounds good. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's, everybody. I'm going to end it here. Thanks for everybody for coming in.
Feel good today.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.